These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
Everybody says she's looking good, and the lady knows it's understood. Strutter!
These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's barley basket.
Welcome, everybody, to America's Barley Basket. I am your host, Nathan Folsebuck. Sitting beside me virtually on the internet is Marlin Wells.
Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlin.
I'm on the internet.
Oh, it's so fucking cool, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I got all my favorite sites bookmarked, so I'm just within a tap of a finger. They're there. I'm looking at them all the time.
This is the age that we are living in.
3 email addresses, Marlin. Imagine it.
I also have 3 email. Well, 4 if we're counting work. Man, I am a man of the future.
You son of a bitch. You always got to one-up me, don't you? Well, look who's getting another email tonight.
Signing up for a fresh one for no reason. Just another thing to sign up for Domino's Pizza alerts to come to.
Gotta get that. It's been 20 years. I'm due for a new Yahoo email. I hope they send you like a care package when you get a Yahoo email now. Like, oh guys, thank you. Like, thanks for thinking of Yahoo.
I like. I'm hoping that because I ought to hit my probably 20-year mark here at any time of a Hotmail address. I'm hoping I get a coin or something in the mail.
That would be great.
Well, you still use this fucking thing, huh? Here's a coin, commemorative Hotmail coin.
It's weird now when we get people, like younger people into our fantasy football league when we need to, someone leaves, we need to replace them. And you ask them if if they're on Yahoo, if they have they're like, what the fuck is Yahoo? Because that's what we still, the only thing keeping Yahoo's lights on is fantasy sports.
Oh, absolutely. And to the point where, I signed up for a survival pick'em league this year, and they just let you use your Gmail address. They're go ahead. We know that you don't want a Yahoo address.
Just getting cucked by Gmail. Oh,
well, I'm sure somewhere along the line, some bean counter saw that, hey, it's cheaper to just let them use that than we have us store these millions of email accounts that never get used.
I read something. At one time, Yahoo was legit the most popular website on the internet, and they turned down some gargantuan offers to buy it that they probably keeps them up at night thinking about now.
Yahoo used to have fucking television commercials.
Yeah, think of that. Good point. Everywhere. They were very popular.
Yeah, you would see Yahoo commercials in the Super Bowl.
Yep, it was kind of like a cowboy yodeling, Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Yeah. Oh, that was nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yes, that's the extent of my classical vocal training. Is
you got through the jingle, the week of jingles.
Yeah, it was that and by Menon, and that's the extent of my training.
Oh man, well, Marlin, I have a fresh coffee in front of me. I've just crushed 2 cans of tuna fish with a dollop of Miracle Whip. I am protein surging through my veins. All the omegas just tingling. I'm just tingling with omega fatty acids.
Getting fucking swole.
My brain has never been more locked into this podcast than right now.
The fish oil lubricating your synapses.
Surging. I need more tuna.
So is it really just okay? I have to. Is it really just put tuna out of can into bowl?
Yeah.
Add Miracle Whip.
And here's the thing: you're really gonna get a kick out of this.
Boy.
I am big on subterranean living. I rent my friend's basement, and instead of going upstairs and having to dump it into the can, drain the water into the kitchen sink, I do it all in the bathroom sink, baby, or the toilet. I kind of realize a bathroom is just a slightly danker kitchen.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Okay.
I even have a spot cleared off for my portable frying pan if I want to boil some deer sausage later, some venison sausage. Because it's I don't want to have to carry that big heavy thing from my table kitchen in my living room into the bathroom to dump the water. Why not just do it right in there, brother? So I'm taking care of it. I'm flossing while boiling some venison sausage, man. There's so many moving pieces in the Folsom-Buck household, man. We're taking care of business in so many ways.
I am
really
blown away.
I'm really proud of myself right now.
Are you?
I am. If I can get a little more self-confidence, I'm going to be making fucking tossed salads in the shower like Cosmo Kramer, baby.
Oh, man. So just so we're clear, you're draining tuna can water into the toilet.
I mean, if it comes down to it, if I have dirty dishes in the bathroom sink, yeah. I mean, what else is a guy going to do?
That is 2 weeks in a row that you have confessed to unforgivable seafood crimes.
That's going to be my second album, Seafood Crimes. I'm going to spell it with a Z at the end of crimes because I'm fucking cool, though.
Just to really throw back to the Yahoo era, yeah. Oh, God.
Seafood Crimes presented by Nathan Folsom-Buck.
Oh, God. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying your tuna.
Yeah, bachelor living, it can't be beat.
I mean, I also am bachelor living, but I make my tuna in the kitchen.
Oh, bro, you got to break free of these cultural chains that bind us, bud. Think of the cool stuff you could be doing in your bathroom. I mean, I really blanked on cool stuff you could be doing, but parting your hair in a different way, maybe that works. Maybe that's something you should bring to work one day. Like, hey, what do you think of this?
I did it on the other side. Anyway, I'll be in my office.
Well, see you at 5 p.m. when we don't make eye contact in the parking lot.
Start carrying an empty briefcase around.
I hear he eats tuna fish in the shitter.
Oh, God. I'm pretty sure I only one time, because I was in a hell of a hurry for something. I'm pretty sure one time I have eaten food while sitting on the toilet, and it's the worst I've ever felt.
See, it's funny. That's one thing I am a prude about. I don't even like I used to have a roommate that would fucking drink a 6-pack of beer while taking a shit. I'm like, what is going on, man? Why is there so many empty beer cans in this tiny little bathroom garbage?
I'll drink a beer in the shower. I ain't above that.
If you need to get a buzz on to take a shit, you need to talk to somebody, man.
you have gastrointestinal issues that are worth a conversation.
Yeah, you drink the wrong kind of beer, you're never getting off that toilet. It's just going to be an endless cycle of sadness.
Just the circle of life happening in this bathroom.
Yeah. You know what sometimes we talk about on this podcast, Marlin?
What's
The
that?
Simpsons.
You do.
Yeah.
And Nathan, there are milestones in a boy's life.
Mm-hmm.
There's his first ball game. There's saving the princess in Mario Brothers. There's his first bout with sexual performance anxiety. And then there's reaching episode 100 of The Simpsons.
We did it.
We watched 100 episodes of The Simpsons as of today, and I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Our special boys. No one can take that away from us.
Nope.
I didn't even realize it, Marlon. I was so caught up in the world around us, I didn't stop to smell the Simpson roses.
Stop and smell some of these tuna roses, Nathan.
Yeah, it's tough. I'll tell you right now, those have to be some pungent roses to get through the tuna aroma that this basement has right now.
You're just seeping tuna oil
You know
through
what
your
I smell,
veins
tuna?
right now.
You know what I smell, Marlon? I smell fucking gains because I'm making them.
Now, are you also throwing iron around, or are you just eating tuna hoping for the best?
I don't want to brag, Marlon, but I just got a weight bench in the mail, and I have a weird mix of mismatched weights that are probably going to lead to very life-changing structural issues for my shoulders, I think.
Well, attaboy, I'm rooting for you over here. Get yourself some clips. Don't be dumping them weights on the floor.
Yeah. Things are really turning around. This is gonna be the best pandemic of my life, I feel.
Christ, I hope so.
Until I fucking succumb to vitamin D deficiency because I see the sun once or twice a month.
Yeah, you got to get some supplements in you. And please, if this podcast has to end because you die with a barbell across your chest because you're trying to bench press 255,
yeah,
I'm gonna need you to be careful down there. Okay,
I got a weight on one side, like 2 bowling balls and a grocery bag on the other side.
Somebody come find you just cold, stiff as a board with an open can of tuna resting on your belly.
Christ almighty, this guy likes tuna. Oh, Christ, look at all these shrimp tails and beside his bed. I think he was just spitting them out. It's always tough when the rookie has to stumble on it.
New guy's puking his guts out. Oh, it smells like tuna in this bathroom.
Sure, that's cocktail sauce.
Well, Seafood Victims Unit is moving on to The Simpsons. Episode number 16 of Season 5, entitled Homer Loves Flanders. Very good chalkboard gag right out the gate. Bart is writing over and over the sentence, "I am not delightfully saucy."
Yeah.
Which, have you ever thought of yourself as being delightfully saucy, Nathan?
I haven't, but I'm going to start. I think I am. I think at times I can be curmudgeonly. Marlin, there's a cornucopia of emotions coursing through me at all times, but I can be delightfully saucy.
Yeah, I agree. I have thought of you as delightfully saucy. So
I'll say tee-hee. I'll throw out a tee-hee sometimes, not always even ironically.
I've been there for it.
Mm-hmm. Tee-hee. Oh, man. Am I being delightfully saucy when I do the whole baby hungy thing, or is that just more creepy? Like, that's more off-putting?
Well, I think you might think you're being saucy, but you're the only one.
Okay.
That is the most cringy nails on a chalkboard thing.
I'm saving that for the Patreon.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You've never done it on the podcast, and I'm grateful for that and not saying that you should. So Springfield is gearing up for the Springfield Classic football game, pitting Springfield against Shelbyville, because they apparently have their own football team, too. Has whatever you need.
Again, volunteer fire department. Let's just keep coming back to that.
Homer tries to win tickets on the radio, but Ned wins them instead. And surprised that Ned is listening to like a morning zoo-style radio show, because that seems a little spicy for old Ned Flanders, but
I think this is a means to an end story device. Like, even though it doesn't fit the character.
Just how do we do it? Fuck it. Just how do we get him to the game? So Ned wins those tickets on the radio. They end up going together, Homer and Ned. Homer breaking down and eventually being like, "Hey, can I go with you?" And they go and they have a fantastic time. And then it turns out that they become friends, which is strange. There's a scene earlier in the locker room where Burns is giving a pep talk to the Springfield team, and he's like, "Oh, a crippled little boy is laying in the hospital, and you guys need to win the game for him. And I know he's there because I'm the one who crippled him." And they cut to Milhouse with his leg up in a sling.
Yeah,
it was a great joke.
There's some good Milhouse bits all throughout this five episode run.
I'm really liking the more and more like very quick cutaway jokes, like that one. Ned gets Homer the game ball after the game, and they're buddies now. And Homer is, of course, a terrible friend. And
worst.
Ned is displaying some saint-like patience in putting up with Homer and Homer's bullshit. He's just an oaf, man. Like, he comes to the house and Rod and Todd are watching a Bible cartoon, and Homer's just like, "I'm the guest. I get the remote." It's like, what a dick. Like, I cannot fathom being that type of person.
Yeah. It's episodes like this that really make it hard to to root for Homer, kind of, like, God, he just sucks so hard. When you just get little bits and pieces of it, it's like, hey, that's dumb Homer for you. But when you get the full double barrel Homer experience, it's like, damn it.
Yeah.
He's the worst.
Yeah, when he really cranks it up, he's fucking unbearable. So he just starts glomming on to Ned. He commits the unforgivable sin in my book, like a huge pet peeve of mine, is inviting himself along. Yep. I can't stand that, and I never would dream of doing it, so it bothers me when people do.
There's people out there that simply cannot be alone, and it drives me nuts. It's like, fix it, man. You got to fix it.
Yeah, you
got to forcing yourself into shit. Like,
you got to look inward.
But I think that's like a level of like sociopath too, where like, I am self-conscious to go to something that I'm like genuinely invited to. Meanwhile, these animals are forcing themselves into fucking social events, like. Yeah,
I require several sincere invitations to show up to something, and I'm still gonna feel like a trespasser whole time I'm there. So I'm fun to have at your house party or barbecue. Yep.
I made many drive somewhere and then get there. Oh, I'm a minute late. Never mind, and just go right back home. I don't want, or I'm early. If I'm not right in the perfect time, I'm going to bounce. If there's a chance I won't know at least 75% of the people at this gathering, I'm going to go. I'm going to think of a way not to go.
Yep, there's a lot of mind chess that has to happen for me to go to a thing. And that's a mental disorder, kids.
Yeah, we're ill.
Medicated. Homer and gloms on to Ned, and they go to the soup kitchen, and Homer is being shitty and not enjoying it, and decides just get some soup in these bowls, and then someone takes a picture, so it looks like Homer's out there doing good deeds, and everyone thinks Homer is great. And Ned is really starting to crack. They go on a camping trip where Bart gives Rod and Todd a pixie stick, claiming there's no sugar in it, and they freak the fuck out and start beating each other because the boys aren't allowed to have sugar, which I think is very funny.
Yeah.
Homer, in the meantime, wrecks Ned's car and boat all at the same time. Yeah, Homer just being Homer, just being awful throughout this whole thing. And then there's a scene, Homer goes over to visit Ned, and Ned tells him, oh, we're doing a family thing and you can't come. And Homer, we finally see it, Homer backs into the bush. We finally saw that meme in the show. I have in all caps on these notes, oh God, the Homer bush.
Yeah.
It's fun to see a meme in the show.
Is this around the time we get the Terminator 2 reference where he chases them in the car and he's got the golf clubs? Or is that a little later? Or is that right here? Yeah.
That's just coming up here. Yeah, where he wants to go along with them and chases them and climbs, digging the golf clubs into the trunk of the car, hanging on it.
You're right, man. I've never really thought about how much of a pet peeve that is of mine. Just shut up. If you're not invited, stay home. Just lay down. Isn't it all cool laying down? Just lay down somewhere in the dark. It's the best.
I'm just someone I would never if you and one of our friends, one of our mutual friends, were standing there, and I walked up and was like, "Hey guys, what are you doing?" And you were like, "Oh, we're gonna go do this." Hey, can I come? Would never fucking leave my mouth.
Yeah.
Not once.
At times I wish it would. Yeah,
I'll come
for myself.
if invited.
Mm-hmm.
So Ned is Ned's fleeing Homer and gets pulled over by the police, and then just then, as he's doing a field sobriety test, the bus from the church goes by, and they see Ned quote, whacked out on goofballs. They all think that Ned is a drug user of some manner, and Ned eventually goes to the church on Sunday, and just like, oh, I don't know if I can face them. And when they enter the church, everyone turns and looks, and you hear murmuring. And there's one voice that's stuck out and then stuck with me, just says, there he is, the fallen one.
Yeah.
I was dying. Homer they're all like praying, and Homer's nose is whistling, and Ned flips out on him and is just like, guys, he's not good. Like, he's annoying, and flips out on Homer. Homer defends Ned against the rest of the church, and everything's back to normal. They even do a joke where earlier in the episode, Bart and Lisa were talking about how, like, let's just get through this one. Next week, everything will be normal again.
Yeah.
You know, like, just wink, wink to the camera.
They've really been doubling down on like the fourth wall jokes these last couple of seasons. Like,
which I'm good with. They've all been good. So, and they, by the end of the episode, Ned comes by the window and says hi, and Homer tells him get lost, and the kids are like, there we go. Back to normal.
Sigh of relief.
Yeah. And then there's something along the lines of like, and then we'll be on to some new adventure. And Homer's like, look, I found a treasure map or something like that. It's like
a haunted house.
Yeah. Back to the Simpsons.
Yeah. One part of Homer's personality I love is his just unwavering support for like late 70s like radio rock. Like in this episode early on when he's like, everything's reminding him that he didn't win those tickets, and then Eddie Money's 2 Tickets to Paradise comes on. And he's like, right away he's angry, but he's immediately into it. He's like playing air guitar.
And then like that goes on like not like a long time, but it goes on for like most of the guitar solo, and he's just like, it's great. And then that's it. Yeah, he just loves radio rock.
I don't want to dig too deep into the sordid back life of Marlin Simpson, but have you ever had to do the Roadside Olympics?
Marlin Simpson. No, I have not had to do the.
Did I call you Marlin Simpson?
You did.
Yes. Well, that sticks.
No, I've never had to do the field sobriety acrobat test.
Oh, good for you, man.
How about you, Nathan?
Hand over my heart. I've never once gotten a DUI, but I have taken that roadside sobriety test, and I'll tell you, it's a tense moment. I went in confident I'd had like one big tap beer. It's Miller Lite, so what is it even really? But
There's no alcohol in there.
When that machine's beeping and booping and you're waiting for the results, you're like, holy fuck. Who built that machine? I'm sure. It's in a fat cop's pocket. Lots of body heat. Who knows what that's doing to the circuits?
Who knows who used it last? It's probably that guy's booze that's still in it. You're just making shit up.
I've taken one in Canada before, and let me tell you, their system is buck wild. There's different lights. There's different levels of drunk. Like, my friend blew it, and it turned yellow. Like, what's that mean? It means he can't drive for 24 hours. It's like, how do you know?
Yeah, what kind of science is in this machine?
They give him like a henna tattoo on his forehead that lets him know if he can't come to the courthouse on Monday. We'll remove it.
Just a Calvin and Hobbes licking stick tattoo on his forearm. Like, when that wears off, you can drive again.
Yeah.
They got. They're measuring shit in liters.
Yeah. How many grams you had tonight? Like, grams of what's going on?
Oh, you're an ounce boy, huh?
Yeah. Oh, look at here, Margie. I got an ounce boy on. Ooh.
Oh, man. How many hectares did you travel to get here?
With your fancy shirt with the buttons. I'm going to tell you something right now, Marlon. This episode didn't do much for me. I think it's one of the, I don't know. It wasn't, it sound like insultingly bad, but I was just like at the end, it's like, holy shit, that's it? Like, I barely laughed.
Huh. Yeah. This one, I didn't, it was, I'll give it middle ground. Like, these are all good at some point, but it didn't, I also wasn't fucking crying, laughing or anything, but
yeah,
it was good. I didn't have any beef with it.
But on the note of crying, laughing, the next episode, holy shit, I love this one.
Really got a hold of you?
Yep. Bart gets an elephant is episode, what are we up to numbers-wise?
17.
17, yeah. that beginning starts, the house is trashed. It's like comic. There's like footprints on the ceiling. There's like pieces of pizza on the walls. It's a shit show. And Marge has had enough so she let the kids, and Homer can't leave the house until they clean it. And they just ignore her because they always ignore Marge. And Marge blocks the way out of the kitchen. And Bart looks up, Mom, it's hard for us to leave when you're standing there. Homer's response of, push her down, son. How polite and cheerful. I fucking died, man. Like, he's not even like angry. He's like, well, that's just what you would do if Marge is in the way. You would push her over and walk over her.
Like, push her down. What are you?
God. See, that's how I want my Homers. Little bite-sized bits of shittiness. I don't need 22 and a half minutes of him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just a one line at a time is plenty for me.
So they do have to clean the house, and they're very angry about this. But it's while cleaning this house, Bart overhears a radio contest, and he calls in to win the prize. And it's great because Homer answers the phone, and Bart steals the phone out of his hand, and dumb old Homer, again, love me some dumb Homer and bite-sized bits, doesn't realize the phone's not in his hand, and he's still talking. Like, God,
still going, hello?
Yeah. And the guy, it was a morning zoo radio gag gift of you either win $10,000 or an elephant. And for some reason in their heads, this was early 90s shock jock radio. They thought that was the peak of hilarity.
Yeah, the peak of comedy is mid 90s goofball radio DJ duo.
And little do they know that a young juvenile delinquent would call their bluff and demand that fucking elephant. One thing before I pass over to, there's a gag outside where I think Lisa's missing a jazz event, and there's like a jazz procession going down the street, and Bill Clinton at the time, President Bill Clinton is there. It's like, man, a real kinder, gentler time when you could see Bill Clinton on something and not just like, oh man,
and not be uneasy about it.
Yeah, he's a legit monster.
And it's great because he's walking down the sidewalk playing the saxophone with these kids, and I think it's Lenny drives by and goes, "Get back to work, Clinton," and he's just like, "No," and keeps going.
That confident no was good.
Yeah, I really love during the cleaning scene that Homer's down in the basement cleaning and gets all super bugged high out of his mind on cleaning product vapors.
Yep. That was a very funny,
and
well
then,
done scene.
Everything on all the labels comes to life and starts kicking his ass, like the scrubbing bubbles and Mr. Clean and the turtle from the turtle wax canister.
That was a very good visual. And I think, is it just the episode prior, Marge is tripping balls off of the tap water?
Yep. The Shelbyville Springfield rivalry has gotten so far that they poisoned the tap water.
Yeah. We've had a lot of those over the last 20, 30 episodes. I guarantee that some sheltered writer for The Simpsons dropped acid for the first time in his late 30s and just won't quit talking about it. Can't you just picture this guy?
He's just,
you've never really been awake. Shut up.
He's just insufferable around the office. God, we get it, Ted. You did mushrooms last weekend. Fucking
Jesus,
stop.
Yeah.
Do mushrooms one time and you're just insufferable.
We want to go down that road? We want to talk about Marlin's hallucinogen experience, or should we leave that for the Patreon? How about huffing?
I do a lot of spray painting. I do a lot of graffiti art. And so I have unintentionally huffed a ton of spray paint. I don't know if you've ever tried doing a lot of spray painting indoors, but it's a whole thing by the end of the day.
But you're not it's not like a one for the wall, one for me type of situation.
No, I don't got a sock over the can and then putting the sock over my face. No.
Just you got your ventilator, Marlin? Will do. You just got a sock over your mouth with duct tape.
End of the day, I just got a perfect circle of metallic chrome around my face. What? You guys, no, this piece is really coming together. I gotta lie down.
Yeah, you guys stop for pre-paint snacks. They all go inside. You go right to the gas pumps. Ooh, yeah, premium. Don't need that ethanol killing my buzz.
Water it down. E85, get out of here. Get your corn out of my veins. No, I've never gone down the psychedelics rabbit hole simply because I feel like I have a hard enough time keeping my brain on a proper leash to begin with.
I
don't need it really just running free.
Yeah. And in this episode, Bart will not. He wants that goddamn elephant. They're trying a million ways. They're trying threats. They're trying to buy him up. He ain't budging. And someone from corporate talks to the radio morning zoo crew and lets them know in no uncertain terms that they're going to get replaced by the DJ 3000.
Yep. I got a lot of laughs out of this bit.
Like, have you guys ever had like a company meeting about like the perils of the DJ 3000 in the horizon?
No, not really, because by the time I was old enough and got into radio, the DJ 3000 was there already.
It was running the meetings.
Yeah. So I hear a lot of stories from my older radio friends who are just like, yep, there used to be 14 people on this staff, and now we just pre-record everything, and they narrowed it down to 3 of us. And we all do radio in 4 cities across the country.
Yeah, I think of that.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Radio's been dying a slow death for 40 years.
Man, and I'm also an old, confused man, but I love radio. I don't know, like I love going to like a new city when I'm driving and hearing what like their jingles sound like. Because God, I'm a dork. I'm just hearing this said out loud now. I'm like, man. God,
you just like their jingles, huh?
Yeah, just love the little different shit, the flourishes they do. Oh,
the little whiz bangs in between songs.
Yep.
Like,
what's the studio?
What's Hot 94.1?
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah.
What's the radio parlance for those little things in between?
Liners, imaging liners.
There we go. Look at us learning things.
Yeah. Anytime it's like the voice guy saying the call letters, bing, bang, boom. Like that's all imaging.
Okay.
Like,
look at that.
That's why. So like a pop station imaging is like, hey, we're having fun, guys. And then you get the rock station imaging like, well, fuck your dad. We don't care. Like, what imaging are you going for?
And like, do you have to choose a dumb radio name, or is it kind of left up to you, but it's going to reflect poorly at your end of the year review if you just go by?
For the most part, I think you're encouraged to pick your own. When I was in rock radio, mine was picked for me, which was a bummer. But like, I think everybody else I know who's been in radio picked their own.
Oh, no kidding.
I just got like cornered, and they were like, we're thinking of doing this, and I'm 19 and can't say no to people. So,
yeah.
All right, I guess we'll go with that.
What was it?
There was a competing rock station literally across the street from us. And so they wanted my name to be like to rhyme or like take a shot at the guy who was in the same time slot as me across the street. And that was Ditch. So I got stuck with Twitch, and I worked at that station for 5 years.
Oh my! And
was stuck with this awful little radio name. I'm like, thanks, guys.
I don't know if you're gonna take this as a compliment, but you should. You do not have the build of a man nicknamed Twitch.
Right? It's like, I've never done meth before. I don't have, like...
Or if you are, you're doing it wrong.
Right, yeah. I'm not doing enough of it to offset all these fucking peanut butter cookies.
Yeah. Oh, I miss peanut butter cookies.
Yeah, so that's what I got saddled with, but I'm pretty sure everybody else got to pick their own.
It's a shocker that this isn't a thriving industry.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Can't imagine why it's dying. And like, I remember, so I was in radio. I remember the most bizarre thing happening as iTunes started to become a thing, where it was like, oh, you can just buy the music you want and listen. Like I was in radio during the first iPods, and and I remember like rumblings around because like there was like 6 stations all owned by the same company, all in this one building, and I remember hearing rumblings of like, this is it, man. I was around when Pandora Radio came on the internet and people being like, this is fucking over, dude. Like,
yeah.
And I remember the most bizarre thing being there was a time where radio stations were giving away iTunes gift cards as prizes on the air.
Oh, so great.
I'm like, guys, you are fueling your own demise here.
Yeah. They're busy putting all their best minds at choosing what to name the next late night DJ.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're spending all their time on. Radio.
So the radio people, they do finally buckle to the indomitable will of Bart Simpson, and Bart gets himself an elephant, which crushes everything in the backyard of value, so he decides to name it Stampy.
Stampy, pretty good elephant name.
Yeah. I do love, too, that the Simpsons somehow own the world's only carnivorous elephant.
Yeah, he keeps trying to eat people. I don't think elephants eat people.
Yeah, I thought that was, I loved it. Like Homer goes in the mouth, Bart goes in the mouth.
Bart more than once, like it's a recurring gag. Yeah. He keeps picking up Bart with his trunk and stuffing him in his mouth.
Yeah. He's very emotionless. He's very stoic, this elephant, this Stampy.
Just wrecking shit, causing havoc with no reaction on his face.
Yeah, wrecking shit to the point they realize we got to somehow generate some income because of this elephant, because it's going to drive us out of house and home. And Homer decides to set up a little, like, I think it's $1 to see it, $2 to ride it, I believe is the pay structure. So people come from long and wide to see the elephant, and we finally get our first glimpse of who I believe his name is Cletus the Slack-Jawed Yokel.
Yep, they don't call him Cletus here, but that's the first time we've seen him.
Yeah, hey, that made me happy. I was excited to see him.
Yeah, Lisa says something along the line. She says the phrase "slack-jawed yokel," and then he turns like, "Oh, look at that party hair girl!" It's so good.
Another gag that happens throughout this episode that I like is the cat and the dog doing random shit to try and impress. Like,
they just want attention.
They're trying to say, "I love you." It's so creepy yet sad.
And they're like playing piano, trying to get some affection out of their owners.
Yeah. And then they realize the pricing structure doesn't work. Homer's solution is he just jacks the prices of everything, and of course nobody wants to pay $100 to look at it. Then there's that great scene where they're at the Milhouse's parents' house. He's trying to charge them $700.
Yeah, like retroactively.
Yeah.
Like, well, we gave you your $4. Yeah, but under our new pricing structure, and he tries to get $700 out of them. Yeah. I think it's the dad is just like, get off our property.
Yeah, get off our property. Such a great line. Oh, man. Yeah, dude, I was just eating this episode up. And another great scene, because they just keep on rolling, is when they finally decide that they got to sell the elephant in that obvious ivory merchant shows up. He's got ivory boots on.
Yeah. Which, think of that. Think of the impracticality of ivory boots.
Yeah.
I love, my favorite gag of his is his pen, which is just a tusk. It's just a pen-sized curved elephant tusk with a clicker on top to make it a pen. Oh, God.
There is something referenced in this episode that I'm finally glad came out, because it was like Chief Wiggum's answering the phone, and it's all people like, holy shit, there's an elephant stampeding, and he just keeps laughing it off like it's a prank.
Yeah.
And the last one, he puts the phone, I was like, yeah, and I'm Edward G. Robinson. Yeah. Like,
and I didn't get that at all because I don't know who that is.
Edward G. Robinson probably died in the 40s. He was like an old bad guy gangster act. Like, that was always his thing.
Never take me alive, copper, or one of those.
That kind of shit. Yeah, it's like, you could tell the Simpsons at this point just had fucking carte blanche to do whatever they want, because who the fuck was clamoring for an Edward G. Robinson fucking like reference on this. Well, I guess, yeah, we're getting. That's not true. Most of the references are kind of cult. Well, we got a T2. T2 was like 18 months old when this episode aired. True. So, yeah, you can tell they're at a point now when popularity that they're just getting to do whatever they fucking want to do. And God bless them for it. That's why this show's getting so rad right now.
Yeah, they do, I think, just make the occasional, this one's just for the old people jokes.
Yep. Oh, yeah. God, the whole thing with the Ivory merchant was great. And then again, Bart has that heart-to-heart. And the best is too, he takes off the leg shackle. The elephant just runs.
Yep,
has
immediately.
No emotional
just gone.
care. Yeah.
Did you how hard did you howl and how hard did you rewind when he runs through the Republican and Democratic Party conventions?
Jesus, those things on the walls were so good.
Oh my God.
We're just plain evil was on the Republican one.
Along with, because there's two on each one, and the other one in the Republican convention was, we want what's worst for everyone.
Which that is so unfair. They do not want what's worse for billionaires. That's
everyone but billionaires. Yes.
Fake news, Simpsons. Come on now.
Don't act like they don't care. They care about the mega rich, okay?
Yes. Enough.
God. Editorializing from Matt Groening.
Yeah. And the Democratic National Convention was, we can't govern. I remember that one.
And we hate life and ourselves.
Yeah. And not much has changed.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that was... when political jokes from 30 years ago on The Simpsons still hit you today, it just makes me sad.
Or just more depressing even. Yeah.
It's like, man, everything.
You know what else is depressing, Marlin? I wasted all of my good elephant jokes last week. I should have saved them for this week. It's a very elephant-centric episode.
Wait, was it? I think I think the entirety of last week's episode, for me anyway, has been blanketed with your shrimp crimes.
Oh, well, didn't I go into detail about the elephant being left at our county fairgrounds for an entire summer?
Yes, that's true. We did talk about that.
There must have just funny. Been a passing glimpse of an elephant in an episode. That made me go on a 10-minute elephant tangent.
Yeah, I don't remember how we got there last week, but... yeah, that is funny that you burned all your good elephant material last week.
But the decency prevails, and they do end up selling the elephant to an animal. Again, Springfield has a fucking wild animal sanctuary in it.
Yep. A wildlife refuge for African wildlife.
And that elephant's even a shithead in there, just bopping every other elephant with its head, just a troublemaker.
Yeah.
And Homer hitting that guy with his head over and over again was terrific, too.
He's just headbutting the zookeeper, not zookeeper, but whatever you call the guy who works there. Just headbutting him.
Yeah.
I love
that really affect him, so he doesn't bother stopping him. He just lets him wear himself out.
I love that before that they go to the tar pits and Homer falls in the tar pit, because of course he does.
Yeah.
And Stampy reaches in there with his trunk and pulls out Barney, who's just unbothered and goes walking away and lights a cigarette and sets himself on fire because he's covered in tar.
And how he says, thanks, Stampy, like they're old friends. Like he was expecting Stampy to come to the rescue.
Yeah, he was just biding his time down there, apparently. Yeah, that was... I also, much like you, dug this one a lot.
Yeah, this was very, very good.
Number 18, episode 18 of season 5, as we move on, is Burns Air. I hate to be too repetitive, and stop me if you've heard this one, but the more Burns, the better. Good Lord, do I love Montgomery Burns. Burns is in the bathtub, wearing a top hat, eating what says on the label, extra fancy potato chips. At work, by the way, at the power plant.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Homer is being used as a human, chimney. My note says, why did someone need to be used as that?
Right? There's no reason to put a person in there.
was like wrapped in bristles and shoved down smokestacks. And Homer, in true dipshit, lower middle class thinking, like, well, the rich clearly work harder than us, so they deserve what they get. Like,
I shouldn't complain. The guys at the top have to work even harder, as he's wrapped in bristles being lowered into a chimney with a crane.
Yep.
And then we cut to Mr. Burns. Yeah, that joke in particular really got a hold of me, because it's like, that's, hey, if you make more than $400,000, your taxes are going to go up, and then everyone who makes $30,000 rushes to their aid. The way poor people defend billionaires in America drives me up the fucking wall.
Oh, yeah. I'm at a point now where I just want to see everyone's lives ruined. It's like, this is what you wanted. Here you go. Like, I've given up on anything I ever want to happen.
Fuck it. Bring it all down.
Burn it to the ground.
Let's take out the America cartridge and blow in it and see if that makes it work better.
Come on, super volcano. Come on, caldera.
Ragnarok is coming, baby. So we go from that to Burns in the bathtub in his top hat eating extra fancy potato chips, and this is such a good joke. Smithers is washing Mr. Burns with a sponge, and Burns says, "God, careful, Smithers. That sponge has corners, And Smithers decides, I'll go try to find a round one. And he sets the sponge on top of Burns's top hat. And the weight of a wet sponge is more than Burns can fight against. And it just slowly pushes his head beneath the water in the bathtub.
The weight of that wet. Oh, my God. Love. It's redundant at this time, but God, do I love feeble, sad Burns.
As he, begs, Smithers, help, as he's slowly sliding down. Oh, Christ. And while he's underwater, he has the life flashes before his eyes kind of thing. And so he sees himself as a baby and as a young man and a slightly older young man, one of which is him in the 60s or 70s on a Greenpeace boat, taking off his hippie disguise to reveal that he is Mr. Burns, and then sinks their boat and swims away.
So good.
And then he comes back to it because Smithers pulls him up out of the tub, and Burns is immediately mad at Smithers, but then has to kind of reflect on the fact that he doesn't have an heir, quote, according to Mr. Burns, due to his, quote, hectic schedule and lethargic sperm.
Yeah, I enjoyed the term lethargic sperm very much.
Lethargic sperm has to be a crust punk band at this point. I assume that every clever thing in The Simpsons is a band name.
Yeah. Someone's taking advantage of it.
At this point. Decides that he's going to hold auditions for an heir as if it's a play. Does it at a theater, sitting there letting people come on to the... and then some real good sight gags here. Milhouse coming out and just being like, I love you, Mr. Burns. And Burns tells him... Burns,
I specifically said no dweebs.
That's what it is, yeah. And... Milhouse, God bless him, is just like, my mom says I'm cool, and walks off the stage.
His exact line is something like, I have nothing to offer you but my love.
I really thought my mom thinks I'm cool really knocked it out of the park.
Oh my God.
Martin comes out and does a song. He sings, I don't know what that's from, but clang, clang, clang goes the trolley, which I love anytime that song comes up in anything. There's a great Chad Daniels bit. I don't know which album it's on, but he does that. And I'm just like, it's perfect.
And I love how much he's he enjoys he enjoys Nelson, because he too is a bully, just in a different way.
Yeah, he immediately tells Smithers to put Nelson on the short list, for a callback. God, Nelson just sucks so much. Yeah. Bart comes out, and Burns doesn't like him either, and then Bart just starts fucking wrecking house, just destroying Burns' mansion. He's throwing rocks through the windows. He fills his old Rolls Royce with water.
He beheads the statues because that's a thing that Bart does apparently.
But he's just raising hell, and Burns likes it. Burns is like, see, that's who it ought to be. That should be my heir. So he decides that Bart will be the heir to the Burns fortune. So we have a scene at the Simpsons house where everybody signs all the paperwork they need to sign. Bart starts hanging out at Mr. Burns' house. Mr. Burns has a camera hidden in the home of every Springfield resident.
Yeah, which I thought was great. And he says the line, I got the idea from the movie Sliver.
Which I didn't get.
I'll tell you right now, if you were a 13-year-old boy and you got your hands on a copy of Sliver, ooh, dolly. That was some serious stroke material, I'll tell you. The sex noises Sharon Stone makes alone you'll be hosing the inside of your Jenkos in no time, my friend. 7 seconds or less.
Well, need to write down Sliver.
You're doing no-handers on the bus if you feel me. Or don't feel me. Just got that on an audio tape on your headphones.
Just on a loop.
Is Marlin having a stroke? Well, in fact, I'm not having a stroke. Get the fuck away from us, your weird-ass stained pants.
Leg shaking like a dog in its sleep.
Yeah. Do like a weird Dwight Yoakam impersonation. I did hear him go, "Aw, Sookie" at one point. This is the weirdest 12-minute bus ride of my life. That guy's really going through the ringer in C3.
Keeps making the Angus Young face with his upper lip for no reason. Oh, God.
You recording that on your living room floor, syncing it up and cutting it so it's perfectly 30-second clips of her getting her nut, and your mom walks in. What's she up to? One of your little projects? Yeah. Just sweating with anticipation. Already 250 pounds. That's my giant boy. There's some Teddy Grahams in the pantry.
Just shimmering wet. Just sweat.
Wispy preteen beard hairs glistening.
Holding the microphone from the tape recorder up to the television.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, I apparently need to see Sliver at 35 and see if it has the same...
Ages as well as vampires.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Fucking vampires. God, that movie's not good.
One of my favorite things about the cameras at everyone's home is fucking Bart finds out that Homer secretly eats flowers.
Right? What a weird...
Yeah.
He's just in the bathroom, just eating tulips.
Yeah. There's another great gag right when Mr. Burns is kind of trying to woo Bart when he's like, "You can have anything you want." He's like, "Can I have a pizza delivered by Krusty the Clown?" "Sure." And it happens. And he's like, "Wait a second, Krusty. Isn't your show airing right now?" He's like, "Don't worry about it. I just put a tape on. No one will know the difference." And halfway through the episode, he announces that the Falkland Islands have been invaded. He pulls down that map of the Falkland Islands and gets in depth with their strategic importance.
Yeah, that of all the tapes of old episodes that he could have rerun.
He went into more detail than the 6 o'clock news would have about the Falkland Islands.
Yeah, they're right here off the coast of Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good bit.
Oh, man, yeah. Enjoyable.
God, Homer just eating tulips on the toilet. Yeah. Holy shit.
And when Bart later calls him on it, he whispers, "My secret shame." Jesus, this episode was good. We also get, I think, what's kind of came down in part of Simpsons folklore now is when they're leaving the contest and the kids are kind of down in the dumps. Not so much maybe about losing, but just having to do it to begin with. And Homer gives him that like pick-me-up speech. It's like, you tried your best and you failed. The lesson here is never try. I think that's kind of lived on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was gold. They're at the dinner table with the whole family, and they're eating dinner. And Bart kind of has a blow up and wants to go live with Mr. Burns. And I have written down here, because I can't imagine you took too kindly to it, knowing you and your tastes. He really goes hard on slandering Meatloaf.
Yeah, I am very angry about that. Did he say it was like his least favorite of the loaves?
His least favorite loaf.
It is so high on my favorite loaves. Like, I don't want olive loaf. It looks ridiculous. Just like, God, Meatloaf's a slam dunk, man.
If there were two identically sized loaf pans in front of you, and one had meatloaf and one had banana bread.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh boy, that's a Sophie's choice for Nathan.
Right? That's
jeez.
You may as well shoot me.
Yeah, man. Do I eat banana bread meatloaf sandwiches? Is that possible? Oh man. A fresh slab of meatloaf with just thick, real butter meatloaf banana bread. Fuck it. You don't think I wouldn't eat butter-covered meatloaf? You're out of your mind.
That's the thing. I didn't think that you misspoke.
Yeah,
I was like,
you're like into it. Yeah.
No,
Slather it up.
No, I meant that wasn't out of character for you. Like, slab of meatloaf with butter on it. Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to sing the praises of banana bread, but yeah, oh my God, both of them. What a delicious treat.
Oh, banana bread is so good.
Meatloaf can get fucked up. People can do meatloaf wrong. It is. I mean, you can get it dry, I guess. God, banana bread's batting average is pretty good. It goes from good to amazing.
Yeah, have you? I don't think I've ever had bad banana bread.
Try like store bought, like in like a gas station, wrapped up. Yeah.
Well, that's gas station food for the most part, especially anything pre-made and shipped there. Like I'm sure like Hostess probably makes a banana bread slice that is not good.
Processed, yeah. And I love processed trash. I am 70% processed trash at this point. But yeah, banana bread, some things can't be done on a mass scale. I think banana bread may be one of them. Oh man, shout out to my mom, who will never, ever, ever, ever listen to this podcast.
Thank God.
Knows how to make a good banana bread.
Yeah, same here. My mom also. I think everyone's mom makes the best banana bread. When it comes to banana bread, are you looking for a nut in there? Are you looking for chocolate chips? Are you looking for any of that?
I like it. I don't mind any of those options, but you give me a choice. It's either just plain or slight nuts. Like I don't want to be overpowered by nuts, because the banana bread's the star of the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for me, I'm looking for some walnuts in there.
Mm-hmm. Man. I ever because my mom, she would tell you, not like a great cook or a great baker, fine, but like, and there's a few things she's really got down. And I remember like being at other people's houses and just like, my mom does this better. I'm not going to say anything because I'm a nice boy, but tell your mom to get a fucking clue.
Oh, your mom's green bean salad is really...
I was going to say tater tot hot dish. Your mom just has this is some piss poor Snicker salad, which holy shit, for our
my God.
Delightful European listeners, we need to do a whole thing on the insanity that is picnic food in the Midwest.
Even if we don't dive into all of them just now, you brought it up. You have to explain Snicker salad to our non-Midwestern listeners right now.
I'm not going to do it justice. You chop up Snickers bars, which is chopping. Okay, we're going to make a salad. Let's get some fresh Snickers bars,
some fresh cut candy bars in here,
and diced apples.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the consistency? What's it in? I can't picture it. Some kind of whipped cream?
Yeah, I think it's just Cool Whip. I could be wrong, but I think it's
got
just
some kind of
cream.
color to it too. There's something else added. It's like graham cracker powder. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, I'll fuck up a Snicker salad, but I like cookie salad more, which is ground crushed up cookies mixed in. I like a good cookie salad.
I don't know that I've ever had that. Oh, also there's instant vanilla pudding in Snicker salad. That's what the other thing is.
Yeah. We also do a thing that's popular in my neck of the Midwest called like, I think it's just called like blue, pink stuff or purple stuff, depending on what's put in it. Pretty sure it's just cottage cheese, Cool Whip, maybe mandarin oranges. No, mandarin oranges go in the Snicker salad. This is just like a colored glob of dairy and sugar. I think Jello. It's Jello. I think it's just Jello, Cool Whip, and cottage cheese mixed.
What? Oh, like it sounds like you're right on the cusp of ambrosia salad, is what it sounds like you're on the cusp of. But there's no cottage cheese in there. That's, I think, rice or tapioca with whipped cream and Jello.
I think we use cottage. Someone else some other one of our fine Midwestern listeners let me know what the pink stuff is. My brother will eat a fucking pickup box trailer full of pink stuff. He's not. He doesn't care what it looks like. He's taking his shirt off. It's a mess. Let someone say living his best life.
Yep. Oh man, yeah. The potluck dinners that happen in the Midwest.
Yeah, and when it comes to like the real deal picnic shit, I'm kind of glad we got that silly stuff because I don't like a lot of the staples. I don't like potato salad. I do, and I am definitely going to be left out of Will's because of my distaste for potato salad.
I'm in the same boat. I'm not a potato salad person.
Yeah,
I can hammer down certain pasta salads if I have to, but it's not going to be my favorite thing.
I don't like I don't like cold macaroni. I don't think that should be as hot of a take as it is. I don't like cold potatoes and mayonnaise
cold potato salad in particular I think is real off-putting. There's something about everything about it. Like, hey, we got cold potatoes and mayonnaise in this bowl. Yeah. You want some of this? No.
Yeah, and there's people, that's the highlight of the fucking summer, is getting their hands on some good potato salad. I wish I could get that much enjoyment out of it. Hell, I wish I could just tolerate it. Like, I am just not a fan of dining outdoors in general. Especially when you're like picnicking, because you're by a lake, it's a body of water. You know what that means? Mosquitoes everywhere.
You're fighting mosquitoes. It's fucking hot.
Hot in the sun. Horseflies the size of your fist.
Yep. It's North Dakota, so the wind is blowing your napkin away.
Oh, my God.
Don't set your plate down because it's gone. Now it's in the lake.
You have to build a lean-to to protect the potato chips or they will fly away. Like, it's insane. What are we doing?
You're sitting in a lawn chair that is not rated for your weight to begin with, so it's already precarious as you're holding your plate up at eye level to keep the kids and dogs away from it.
Yeah, Marlin. Oh, yeah, the dogs. Everyone's got dogs too. Like, Jesus Christ.
As the feet on your lawn chair just keep sinking into the dirt.
Eventually you reach a point that it's pointless that you're in a chair.
Yeah, you're just sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm with you. I'm not one for like, hey, July 4th, everybody come over. We'll have a picnic in the backyard. It's like, I'm fine.
I enjoy the fellowship if it's people I enjoy. That's the only thing that will get me out there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just want a day drink. That's a thing, too. Every once in a while, I'm up for that.
Yeah, I can do that in my bedroom anyway, like by myself. I don't have to have sunlight and company.
Yeah. We've been meaning to talk to you about that.
Oh, boy. I can quit anytime I
got
want.
The piss jug on the left side of the bed, the shit pan on the right. I got it made. I got 4 cases of Keystones.
Boy, the cat sure stopped coming into this room.
Oh, man, I'm picturing someone having one of those like things you use for paint rolling beside their bed in case they have to shit. And it's really funny and kind of sad.
Like the pan? Is that what you're talking about? The paint pan?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Who would have thought lying in bed drinking room temp Keystone wouldn't be you wouldn't have the best looking fucking dumps of all time. The shit looks like if ink could rot.
Oh my God.
A doctor's looking at it. You're just bleeding from all sorts of places inside, aren't you? I don't know, probably.
This stool sample is mostly blood. Coagulated.
Was this from a horse left tied up in a barn for years on end and had to eat its own shit? No, it's from him. You're right there. They're ready to call animal control. Oh, hello.
Son, we got to take you to a vet right now. You don't fit on any of our operating tables.
We're just gonna have you lay down in the parking lot. We'll lay plastic down. It'll be fine.
Go find a nice vet with a tip and shoot that we can run you in.
A couple middle-aged grown men holding one of your legs out like they're boning out a deer. Cut that one tendon so he spreads wider. I'm alive. Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Hanging you up by your feet. Oh, fuck.
Woo. Good times.
So Bart doesn't care for the meatloaf and decides that he's going to go live with Burns. So the Simpsons are not okay with this, that Bart has decided to go whole hog into being Burns' heir, and they go get Lionel Hutz that do some legal shit with this situation, and Lionel Hutz has taken up shoe repair as a side business.
Oh man.
They don't even do anything with it really. There's just a couple quick gags of him hammering a nail into a shoe sole.
Oh man, love Lionel Hutz.
Yeah, but so Burns in the meantime is showing Bart footage in his weird surveillance room of the Simpson family, saying they're glad Bart's gone and they hope he never comes back. It's actors playing them in rubber masks.
Yeah, was one of them supposed to be Michael Caine playing Homer? I almost thought like a.
I don't know. I felt like those were references, but there's no like celebrities listed on the
exactly
the guest stars for this episode. So I would have thought that if they were pointing directly to someone, they probably could have gotten whoever that is.
There's a couple. I don't want to steal the thunder, but there's a couple great scenes of like Bart living with Burns. The first was when Milhouse comes to visit. And he's like bragging, Bart's bragging about like the quality of his suit coat.
Yeah.
And the way Milhouse says whatever the maker of that suit coat, like that's something a 9-year-old boy would pine after as a high quality suit coat.
Yeah, a certain designer suit coat, blazer. Yeah.
A blazer, yeah.
There's a scene at the beginning of that scene when the model train goes by and it exits the room and Milhouse is like, where does it go? And Bart's like, I have no idea. Sometimes it's gone for several hours. One time it came back with snow on it.
Yeah.
I just love that there's this model train that is part of an elaborate model train system.
Yeah.
That apparently goes outdoors at some point.
We get another great feeble Burns moment when he tries to kick the football to Bart. And of course, he cannot kick a football.
I love that. Like, my favorite part of that joke was like, of course, he's not going to be able to kick the football because he's Mr. Burns. But he like gasses out and is out of breath after taking his 2 big steps to get to the ball to kick off. And then just like faints on Smithers.
Yeah.
So Bart is like liking having all this nice shit, but also kind of bored and misses having friends and misses his family when he's not driving a fucking Lamborghini through a Santa village, which was a fun scene.
A great visual.
It's just Bart, like he can't see over the steering wheel, so you just see the steering wheel and his hands and then whatever he's hitting slamming against the windshield. So Burns shows Bart that fake family footage, and Bart's like, okay, I guess they don't want me back. And then, so Bart gets fitted for a Burns suit that is like too tight and makes him hunch over the way Burns does. And Burns is like, it's perfect. You'll develop a nice hump in no time.
Yeah.
Like, this is intentional. Like, Burns' posture is intentional.
Oh, man.
And
the upcoming scene is so great, like the end of this episode.
Yeah, they go off to Burns' office where he's like, let's have some fun and fire someone. And they bring Lenny in, and Burns tells him, I won't fire you if you can tell me why I shouldn't without using the letter E, which is, I think, a fantastic bit of like of word puzzle, because he's like, well, I'm a very, like, he keeps almost saying it and backing off, and I think he's about to say hard worker and says hard work guy. Like, he pauses and corrects himself to guy. Gets fired anyway, and Burns pulls the handle for the trap door. I love that there's a trap door in Mr. Burns' office.
Yeah.
And then they call in Homer, and Burns is like, you need to prove your loyalty and fire your old man in order to really seal the deal on being Burns' heir. And Bart can't do it, fires Burns instead, and drops Burns down the down the trap door. And Smithers immediately comes running to the edge of the hole and is like, try to aim for Lenny's corpse, and then dives in after him.
I think he refers to him as a Leonard, too, which I like, professional man till the end.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah, and so Bart is back with his family, and Burns is without an heir yet again.
Yeah, good episode. My goodness.
Oh, give me all that sweet Burns.
Yep. Speaking of good episodes, we are coming up to what another hot take, which I know you love my hot takes.
Always.
I'm going to say this is the funniest episode I've seen so far.
Really?
Yep. I loved this one. God, I was dying during this one. I don't know what it was. It was just like the first three, I even noted it, first 3 minutes, and I'm just dying. Those, like, almost all the way through. And then the episode is Sweet Seymour Skinner's Badass Song, which I think is
meant to be a reference to something, I would assume.
Yeah, it's like a 70s blaxploitation movie called Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song, I believe. I might be getting that wrong. Yep. I think it's Mario Van Peebles Sr. made that movie.
Okay.
You may know Mario Van Peebles Jr. from the movies Posse. And, well, what else? Solo? Was he in Solo? I think possibly.
I don't know.
Mid-90s gems for you.
I didn't. Oh, my mind went to the Star Wars Solo.
Oh, no, there was a mid-90s action Solo, too.
I was like, who was he in Solo?
I'm getting him mixed up. Around that same time, Keenan Ivory Wayans starred in an action movie.
Boy, there's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, he was like the star. Like, I'm sure it got a wide release, so we'll have our crack research team dig into it and see whether or not Mario Van Peebles Jr. was the star of the mid-90s action vehicle Solo.
Also, don't lie. No, we won't.
Yeah.
We will forget all about this.
The fact that I was able to get out of bed by 2 p.m. to do this is just I think a feather in my cap.
Well, thank you for making the sacrifice of being out of bed by 2 p.m. to record a podcast.
You want things done right, you got to do it yourself. That's what I say. I was going to have one of the interns take this. So I'm like, nope, the takes won't be hot enough.
And that is true. Somebody's got to tell the world about Snicker salad as you're pulling yourself out of bed, grunting.
Those interns eat tuna in the kitchen. So this episode starts with old family footage videos of Marge and Homer when they're a young married couple, and it's kind of a little bit of a take on the Wonder Years, I believe, because Joe Cocker's Little Help from My Friends is playing, which Joe Cocker really knocked it out of the park with that one, didn't he? I don't know if he really ever had another hit, but by God, that's a good song.
That is a good song. I don't know any other Joe Cocker, but that's a good one. And I don't know it from whatever you said, because I don't know that show. So
yeah. Well, maybe we'll do it one time. No, we're not going to do it. Jesus Christ, we just went over this. There's no way I would have to be able to quit my job if I hadn't had to put the commitment into rewatching the Wonder Years. A fine show, but it's not The Simpsons. Wonder Years is very poignant. If you like poignancy, Marlin, maybe it's...
Is every episode a Lisa episode?
It's a very boomer-centric. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. If Fred Savage was Lisa, that would be the Wonder Years.
Oh, I think I'm good. We still got to watch Babes and Safe Men.
That is true. Oh my, Safe Men, please. Treat yourself, America.
Mark my words. Take this as a promise or a threat, because it's maybe both. We're going to do Babes.
Yeah. Oh, I think we owe it to our listeners to watch Babes.
We're going to watch the entire series of Babes.
So it turns out Bart is the one watching these videos because he's looking for something for show and tell. And say, I'll just bring this. And Marge is like, I don't know. I don't want you airing our family's history, like our dirty laundry or whatever. And then it cuts to Bart on the toilet as a baby. He's like, I'm a big boy. So that nixes that idea of using that for show and tell. So he's ripping through Lisa's bedroom. It's like, why don't you bring one of my geodes? Of course, Lisa has geodes.
Of course she does.
They're like, no, that's a trilobite. No, that's petrified wood. No, that's a bran muffin. And the blank expression on Bart's face is because he's just guessing at that point. I love when Bart's dumb as shit.
Yeah, I appreciate a good petrified wood reference. A lot of petrified wood where I come from.
Yeah, I remember my dad getting me some on I don't know if it was a hunting trip or something. I thought I was cool as shit.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is really old wood, by golly.
It used to be wood. Now it's a rock. Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, I don't know, man. I think this just must be my sense of humor. I absolutely lost my mind when Bart's at the kitchen table again, still can't find anything for the show and tell. And Marge is like, well, why don't you bring this potato? And Bart's like, Mom, what is it with you? Always just trying to get me to do stuff with potatoes. And she's like, hold on. I don't know. I just think they're neat.
Yep.
God damn it. I was dying.
Such a mom thing to say.
Such a mom. Yep. I just think these potatoes are neat.
I just think potatoes are neat.
Yep. Oh my God. I was dying. And then he decides to bring Santa's little helper, heck, man, I was just the whole setup for the show and tell. Nelson reading off the ingredients of that can of tomato paste, and Mrs. Krabappel says, "Thank you, Nelson. I'm sure we'll get to hear more about it next month." Yeah, he's been doing it all year.
Yeah, every week. That's what he brings in for show and tell is this same tomato paste can.
And when he has the box over the dog and he's trying to lead them build it up the four-legged thing with ticks.
Yeah, what has four legs and tick?
Is it a walking clock? It's a walking clock. Mrs. Krabappel, well, Bart, please show us this walking clock. That's my dog. And that whole thing about one time he came under the house and he was covered in ants, and then he went into a church and drank all the holy water, and all the kids are like, ooh, that's some cool
It's
thing.
Like they've never seen a dog before.
Yeah, I was dying this whole, probably 5 minutes of this, so just one after the other. And then when the dog got up in the vents, that's where this leads to, is the smell of lunch lady Doris cooking the horse parts with 70% more testicles.
Yeah, that barrel, just the visual of that barrel, separated horse parts, now with more testicle.
Yeah, testicles mean iron.
Oh God.
Oh my! And then Principal Skinner's like, we got to get that dog because the dog's raising all sorts of hell in the vents. The kids aren't paying any attention because there's a dog in the vents. And he tells Willie, groundskeeper Willie, he has to do it. So, of course, Willie strips down to his skivvies, bursts into the kitchen, and demands that lunch lady Doris oil him up or grease him down. Her response, okie dokie.
Yeah.
Christ, I about died.
No, doesn't fight that at all because he's just this statuesque Scotsman. All right, grease me up. And she's just, okie dokie. She's not having any problem with that process.
Oh my God. And then he's up, groundskeeper Willie's up in the vents, and all of a sudden, apparently, Skinner has a radar detector for the vents. He can see movement in there, which is taken straight from Alien, which of course I have the biggest boner for, so I'm just loving every minute of that. It's it's right behind you. He's like, I don't see it, and then he just gets licked by the dog a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm. On his feet, so he's giggling.
Yeah. And Principal or Superintendent Chalmers decides to pay a surprise visit. It ends with the dog falling on him from the vent. And that makes him in a happy mood. I can't stay mad at you because he was about to fire Skinner, and then a greased up Scotsman falls on him from the vent, and that's enough to get Skinner fired.
Yeah, so Skinner gets let go by the superintendent. Yeah, and I like when Willie falls from the vent and lands on the superintendent, and then so when it cuts to him getting up off of the superintendent, there's still just this oil stain in the shape of Willie on his suit, which I thought is great.
Yeah. So he's fired, and they decide to put the president of PTA.
Over there?
Yep.
Jesus, am I fucking boring you, Nathan?
You hear me tapping my watch?
Nathan Folsebach, ever the showman.
I had to get up before 2 p.m. What do you expect of me? I'm not a machine. I'm a man. Need for napping.
Some people are 2 meals in at this point.
Some people are just ready to wrap their day up. I just set an alarm. I don't want to oversleep my 2 p.m. podcast meeting.
Jesus Christ.
Man has to have a schedule.
Yeah, I guess.
So they put Mr. Ned Flanders in charge, and of course you can see where this is going. He's not going to do anything to these kids because he's Ned Flanders. He's a sweet angel baby that shouldn't be in charge of anything.
Nothing that could ever involve discipline.
Yeah, Bart just gets in trouble to eat from the complimentary peanut butter cups that are in his office.
Which the idea of being a child and there being a full thing of unwrapped peanut butter cups in front of you.
As a 40-year-old man having that option. If it was in a fridge too, I just felt my dick move thinking about that. A chilled Reese's peanut butter cup, brother.
Are you a cold peanut butter cup guy?
Yeah. I mean, I will take a room temp, but I like it cold.
Sure. Too. I've never been a cold candy guy. I've known people to throw a Snickers in the freezer, and
I see. Snickers doesn't matter to me. It's just Reese's. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, some people like them cold to the point where you find them in the coolers in gas stations. Yeah. I don't know. I don't get it.
So now Principal Skinner is out of work. He's just kind of bumming around town. There's some awkward interactions between Bart and him. They see each other on the street. There's a fun little interaction at the laundromat where the bullies steal Skinner's underwear, which is an awesome thing to do.
Yeah.
To steal a grown man's dirty underwear. I'll show them. I'll buy a pair of underwear. He looks in his wallet. They're right. Yeah. I needed those underwear.
No, I won't. I needed those.
We get some great Skinner's mom when Bart goes over to his house a handful of times.
She's still pretty pleasant. She's not the shrew that I think she turns into. I think they developed that character into being kind of curmudgeonly.
Yeah, I was just going to say, or maybe it's just they kind of fit it to the episode if they need to, if that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
And he lets him know that he's actually going to go back to the Army. That's the one, besides teaching, it's the one place he felt wanted. It was the United States Army. So
I like when Bart sees the photo of him and his I don't know, crew, battalion, squad, whatever you want to call him. He talks about and then I got shot in the back, which was weird because it was at a Bob Hope show.
Yeah. He's got that big smile. They're all just glaring at him contemptuously.
Yeah, they clearly hated Skinner in the Army.
So Skinner's in the Army. He's in charge of training the new recruits who are not really the best and brightest of American young men. It's a real hillbillies piling out of that bus. Meanwhile, the school is complete pandemonium. They got Martin living in an elevated cage. It's just chaos. And he's like, my water dish is empty. It's so great. And I think why I've enjoyed these last couple episodes, we're just getting little smatterings of Ralphie Wiggum that just crack me up. There's the time when he walks up to the school at night, Skinner, and there's tears in his eyes. And he's like, You taught me how to read. He's just remembering these things.
Yeah.
And it's Ralphie Wiggum. I got car sick in your office.
Oh, I love Ralphie so much.
Yeah. Oh, there's some great Ralphie in these last few episodes.
Martin up in that cage, though, with it.
Yeah.
My water bowl is empty.
Yeah. I think the last cut of it we see, he's like made himself a nice little, he's made the best of it. He's like ironing his shirts up there. This is like a 3x3x3 cage.
Yeah,
too.
he can't stand up in it hardly.
Yeah. Oh, man. And Milhouse, shirtless, covering his torso in ketchup and casually rubbing it on himself. And him and Bart have that talk. Like, well, what's the matter? Like, well, it's too much. I think it's kind of like we saw in a previous episode. Like, when everyone's the delinquent, Bart loses his thing.
Exactly. And he, at the same time, is, like, really missing his nemesis.
Yeah. The teachers are great in this. Where the teachers are too scared to leave the teachers' lounge, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
Just holed up in there. So they finally, I think Lisa kind of talks to Bart, explains what, like, well, you're feeling his guilt. And he decides, like, oh, you got to, figure out a way to get him back in charge. And I'm trying to think, how does it go about doing it? It's something with, he gets Chalmers to show up just to see how big of a wreck the school is.
Yeah, to see
That's
that
what it is.
Flanders has let this school just turn into chaos.
And it kind of backfires, like, well, this is the direction all public schools are going. You guys are just a few months ahead of the curve.
Right. Yeah, he kind of doesn't mind because he's like, yeah, this is what schools will be soon.
But then thankfully, for Skinner's sake, Ned Flanders decides to mention God over the intercom, and then, like, well, we cannot have God in a public school, and that ends Ned Flanders' run as a grade school principal.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Skinner was like, well, how am I going to get thrown out of how am I going to get out of the army? And I was so bummed that they didn't follow this path.
Yeah.
Because Bart
just talk about it.
Bart just says, well, just make a pass at your commanding officer. And Skinner's just is like, oh, okay, yeah, consider it done. And I mean, really done. And that's it.
Yeah.
They don't follow that at all. I would have killed to see what that looked like.
Yeah, I thought that was great. So a rather quick turnaround. We are back to where we've always been with Bart and Skinner as each other's nemesis.
Yeah, and they kind of lament the fact that this means they can't be friends anymore.
Yeah, because they kind of grew to respect and be friends, yeah.
Yeah, so...
And then it ends with them each putting a note on each other's back. One says, kick me, and the other one says, teach me.
Right, yeah. It was a good episode. I won't put it as high up as you will, but it was very good.
I think it's more so like that first half is like the funniest of any Simpsons episode. But now I think, well, the last half is fine, but it's not like, holy shit, I'm dying good.
Yeah, it was a very good episode. And had another appearance by our boy Frank Welker as the voice of Santa's little helper for no reason.
Oh my, yeah. That's, again, some weird, one of the Simpsons writers just loves that guy's work, so he's making sure.
One huge Transformers nerd on the writing staff.
Hey, want to come in here and make a noise for $12,000?
He thinks that he and Frank are friends. Like, hey, Frank, come in and let me tell you, I took mushrooms last month for the first time. And
that's cool,
God.
right?
Oh, God. Ron, shut up. Like,
do you do mushrooms? I'm a 71-year-old man. I'm not a child.
Which means, yeah, you're goddamn right I do. I was Megatron.
I didn't even realize it. I thought that shit was real. He's always nervous around cars.
Why could I even turn into a big gun? It doesn't make sense. Everyone else turns into a vehicle.
He's riding in a car with an Uber driver. Like, they could all be people, you know. Like, well, I guess this is your spot. Please don't stab me in the neck with a pen. I am certainly not a robot.
I love the idea of traumatized Frank Welker.
Yeah.
Thinking that Transformers are real. Oh, one more for this batch. Episode 20 of Season 5, The Boy Who Knew Too Much. Bart writes himself a fake dentist note to get out of school, and Skinner is looking it over and takes it to the school crime lab, which I thought was funny. And the computer spits out a punch card, which is before my time. I don't know computer punch cards, but I do know that it's a fun visual gag for old technology. And he starts hunting Bart. Bart is playing hooky, and Skinner is just hunting Bart throughout this whole episode.
The places that Skinner goes thinking that, we get to see the goddamn Springfield Museum of Natural History, so I guess they haven't closed it yet.
Yeah, they haven't had to shut their doors with their free will donation policy.
Yeah. So he goes to something to do with 4-H.
Yep,
like
the 4-H clubhouse, and it's in this awful neighborhood, and the windows are broken out. It's just derelict.
We get a great drop of the line is it me? Am I out of touch? No. It's the children who are wrong.
Yeah, which is another meme
that.
I've seen. So I love that mentality of old generations. Am I out of touch? No, they're wrong for liking the things they like.
Yeah,
that kind of attitude coming from older generations will never cease to crack me up.
And when Skinner finally gets this on the scent of Bart, he's stalking him just relentlessly. I know that's like a reference to something, some movie or something, because the music changes. I just didn't get what it is. But like when he walks through that river and just walks right on the others.
Unblinking, unflinching, walks through the river. I got a real Halloween vibe, but I don't think it's that specifically. Yeah, even, Terminator. It's something along those lines.
Yeah.
I think it's Terminator, but I'm not positive. It's been so long.
The music has the vibe of an early 80s action movie, so that would make sense.
Yeah. So he's hunting Bart through everything. Bart can't escape. Through the river, up a cliff. Bart is hiding behind a rock, and just as a convertible drives by, he hops in it and gets away from Skinner. Ends up he is in the back of a convertible being driven by 18-year-old Freddie Quimby, who is Mayor Quimby's nephew.
Yeah.
And he gets back to the Quimby compound, and it is Freddie Quimby's birthday, and Freddie Quimby sucks.
Oh, piece of shit.
Just a pile of garbage this whole time. He takes a football and slams it into the punch bowl and announces that the punch has been spiked, and everyone looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah, and just awkwardly laughs because he's rich and powerful and it's his birthday.
Yeah, I do really like that everyone seems to dislike Freddy. Mm-hmm. I liked that they weren't like, yay! Everyone just looks uneasily at each other whenever Freddy is making jokes.
I think this episode shows a good example of the age of the show. I bet if you're in your 20s now, the whole concept of the Kennedy family, because that's the Quimbys are the Kennedys, that they're a family of mischievous young politicians and just big shots, that's gone. That doesn't even register. When they think of Kennedy, there was a president named John F. Kennedy a bazillion years ago
who got shot, and that's all they know about him. Yeah,
they know nothing else. I
don't think it. I bet if I were watching this at the time, I'd have been 9 years old. I wouldn't have known that any of these are Kennedy references. So
all of my Kennedy knowledge came from reading National Enquirers while my grandma and my aunt cleaned a laundromat in my hometown. there's
what
one
a
table.
Wonderful sentence.
Yeah, there's a table in the direct sun. I'd just be their sweaty little kid in such deep secondhand smoke. There was no ventilation in that laundromat. Just crushing National Enquirers and Reader's Digests. The drama in real life, people surviving an alligator attack or having a combine rolled over on top of them. I fucking ate that shit up.
God, what a fucking life. I'd have been so jealous of you as a child. I me at my age at this time, seeing you at your age at this time would have thought you were the coolest fucking kid.
Oh boy, that is an indictment on so many things had to fail you to get to that point.
Look at him. He just gets to sit and read. and get secondhand smoke in a laundromat. Look at these machines.
That burned the laundromat for heat in the 50s. That's one of the field trips you took, was a 3-block walk to look at the foundation of the old town laundromat.
Just the footprint where the building used to be.
Full of rattlesnakes. Don't get too close, kids.
It's all overgrown and there's spray paint cans in there. It's where the teenagers go to dry hump.
Yeah. The rattlesnakes turned me on.
Oh, yeah, that's the stuff. So Bart's kind of going around the party. He runs into Mayor Quimby, who doesn't know who he is, and Bart's just like, oh, I'm one of the nephews you don't really spend time with. And that's sort of the end of it. Now he's in, you know. He runs into McBain, and he's like, kind of starstruck, like, oh, man, McBain, I love all your movies, except the last one. That one sucked. And it's
Chief Wiggum.
Chief Wiggum is right there and turns around and jumps on the dog pile. He's like, yeah, magic ticket, you know. And I very quickly realized they're making fun of Last Action Hero, which I'm not okay with. Last Action Hero is outstanding.
Never seen it.
And holds up today.
Interesting.
I've seen Last Action Hero this month.
It's a cool concept.
It's great. It's the
one of my favorite Alice in Chains songs is on the soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
actually 2 very good Alice in Chains songs on that soundtrack.
It's a good soundtrack. There's a real good Megadeth song on there.
I remember at the time this got derided a lot because I think it lost money. It was like the first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that wasn't a hit, which is, you know, good on him, man. That's a hell of a run.
Yeah, but it's a bummer because that movie's so good. Like the fact that, especially if you look at the time that when that movie came out, Arnold Schwarzenegger was on top of the world.
Yeah,
spitting out the movies that he makes fun of in this movie. You know what I mean? Like, because he's very much poking fun at himself in a big bad way, and like himself and action movies in general, and how stupid and ridiculous they are. Oh, fuck, that movie's so good. I will defend Last Action Hero until I die. I need to sit down and write a screenplay for the sequel or the reboot.
Oh man, you need to cash out your 401k and make a outrageously expensive, I mean for fan fiction, an outrageously expensive fan fiction sequel to Last Action Hero.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
That movie stars and before anyone, or before I anyway, knew who he was, Ian McKellen has a bit part in that movie.
Oh, interesting.
He's on screen for 90 seconds, but watching it now, you're like, holy shit, that's Ian McKellen. And motherfucking Charles Dance is the main villain. The guy who was the head of the... Oh, what's the bad family on Game of Thrones? All of them.
Oh, that's... I will step outside quick while you discuss Game of Thrones. I'll come right back in. I've still never seen it.
Tywin Lannister is that.
Of course. How could I?
Yeah, how could you? Have you never seen that show?
Never have, man.
It's great. Well,
I've heard it's fun.
Most of it is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth seeing. It just because it's a whole thing.
I've heard it's like a page turner in TV form.
Yeah,
like you get real invested.
Yeah, I think it's very good. I think it really falls off a cliff way at the end, but stays good
as
for the most part. Yes, as we all do.
Such is life.
Yeah. So they make fun of Last Action Hero, which I'm not on board with. But Bart is going kind of hiding out in the kitchen at this party. Freddie Quimby is like yelling at a waiter for no reason other than because he's an asshole. Freddie, not the waiter. Because he doesn't pronounce chowder the way his Boston ass pronounces chowder. And we think that we see, it's alleged anyway, that Bart witnesses Freddie stomp this poor waiter half to death in the kitchen. because
we just see the waiter's fallen body.
Yeah, and like
we hear the commotion.
Yeah, we hear the crash noises, and he falls, he collapses, and his leg is kind of the wrong way, and so it's heavily implied that Freddy whooped the shit out of this waiter. Bart is wrestling with the fact that he's the only witness. Everyone thinks that Freddy is guilty, and they're going to have a trial. But he can't come forward and testify because then he would be admitting that he skipped school, which would get him in trouble.
Yeah.
So he's got a real conundrum. Either not come forward about witnessing this crime or get in trouble at school. And so the trial is going on. Homer's on the jury because, of course, he is. Because we needed to give Homer something to do during this episode. Homer, super into the idea of having a deadlocked jury so that they can get sequestered just because he wants to stay at a hotel. Which I'm not even dunking on him, really. I love a hotel stay, and I've only stayed in shitty hotels. So the thought of staying in a nice one would really blow my skirt up.
Him throwing that table out to Barney, and Barney forgets what they're doing, and he gets crushed by it. At least that's what is implied by the sound.
Yeah, here it comes, Barney. Here what comes? What? Yeah, the idea that Homer thinks, you can steal the hair conditioner means you can steal anything. So he steals a table from the fucking hotel room. You ever stolen anything good from a hotel room?
I don't think so.
Because we've stayed in a handful.
Yeah.
I usually...
the kind of hotels we stay at, though there's nothing
That's true.
in that room.
Nothing I want.
That you would ever want in your room.
Yeah.
I don't want to breathe that in.
In more than 50% of the hotel rooms I stay in, I will open the nightstand, take out the Bible, get a pen, and I will sign the inside cover to my biggest fan, Jesus Christ. So
that's nice.
I will autograph the Bible as Jesus.
I hope that people feel good when they see that. Like, oh man.
That's what it's for. I want somebody to be like, oh, look at this. So they get sequestered at the hotel. We follow Homer a little bit here, but for the most part, we're on the Bart path. Bart eventually does decide to testify because it's the right thing to do. And he goes up there and tells everyone what really happened, which is that the waiter just real elaborately fell down.
Oh, yep. Just like a comical, foot in the bucket, hand in the toaster.
Yeah.
Head hits a bunch of hanging champagne glasses. Yeah. Real. Crashes
into a bunch of shit. He just falls down real elaborately.
Yeah.
And Freddy had nothing to do with it. So Freddie Quimby goes free, and Bart gets a shit ton of detention for skipping school.
And there's kind of a heart-to-heart between him and Skinner, who was on the jury. He's like, I know sometimes doing the right thing means you have to suffer the consequences, so I'm only gonna. He thinks about it. 3 months detention.
Yeah.
He's like, no, wait, 4 months. Such a great God, Skinner.
Yeah, that was
don't go changing, Skinner.
That was a great gag. They left it hang there just long enough. There
was another gag that I enjoyed too, where I think it's Homer and somebody else are there, and they think that everyone can read their mind. Do you remember that?
Oh yes, because Skinner is projecting his thoughts at Bart.
Yep. That's what it is.
And then they swing the camera over to Homer, and he's like, I know you can read my thoughts, boy, so meow, 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 meow. He just does the meow mix song.
Yeah. I used to always be paranoid that people could read my mind. I'm really thinking that all the time. Like, oh, man, someone here can, probably because I was 13 and wanting to put my dick on and near everything, So it's if everyone could know these thoughts, I'd be jailed for life. There's just too many round things. I want to put my dick on all the round things.
My God.
It's just screaming at me as I'm on the bus, just leering at bags of leaves on the side of the road.
Bags of leaves?
Why does everything look like titties? Than one from running up to pastor in church.
Like,
how's things? Well, listen, I got a question for you.
You ever try to fuck a bag of leaves, Father?
How come, if God loves us, how come he makes everything look like titties? But they're not titties.
Listen, Padre, I'm trying to bag everything. I like
Yeah.
I like that you just talk like an old taxi driver. Hey, listen, Padre. I'm trying to fuck everything that hoves into my
If they
field
didn't
of
want us
view.
to fuck bowling balls, they wouldn't put fucking holes in them. Those are for your fingers. What? Look at a foreplay. A fucking bowling ball.
I'm not
I'm
some
not gonna date
pervert.
it. Oh, good times. What a way to end things.
Yeah, obviously one's for the thumb. One is always for the thumb. I know. That
good times.
I can't really quite put my finger on it, but I did not care for that episode much.
Yeah. I'd put it right up there with the first one in the bunch.
It was fine. Maybe I think we might have we got a lot of Bart this batch.
Yep, very much.
So I think I might have just been finished with the boy by then, but
yep. This is like 16 and 20 were the bread in this delicious Simpson sandwich, because God, the middle was good.
Yeah, the middle was extremely good. The Seymour getting fired one. That, God damn it, I don't know what it is, but every time Groundskeeper Willie takes his clothes off, I'm like, this is the best thing on television. Maybe I need to sit down and think about some things, actually, about myself and my life.
Yeah. You like buff Scottish men.
Man, everyone has a type, I guess, but boy, I didn't see that one coming. Real specific.
Yeah, that's going to be tough, man. I don't think they make a website for that. You're going to have to cast a wide net. Better adjust those grinder settings to 1,500 miles.
That's the $100,000 prize on the Wheel of Fortune. Just a sliver, on that wheel. But we got through another batch of episodes. We hit the 100 episode mark, Nathan. A milestone in a boy's life. We got there.
We're at the halfway point in the series. It's crazy. What, 4,500 episodes? What?
Oh God, I need to do some math on what percentage of the way that we are in. While I do that math, I'll remind everybody you can find us online at Barley Basket USA on Twitter, or you can email us barleybasketusa@gmail.com. We are 15.6% of the way through The Simpsons.
Did it.
Yeah.
Almost there.
They said it couldn't be done.
Yep. I want people to send us their favorite random Midwest, like, candy salad type things, like their cookie salads, their Snicker salads. If their family has some variation of pink stuff or purple stuff, let us know. We want in. We want to share it with our legion of listeners all over the globe. They want to enjoy these tasty treats too, so share them with us.
I'm starting to. I'll start throwing up. I'll start throwing up recipes on the Twitter. I ain't above it.
Yeah. Mine are pretty short and simple. Tuna, mayonnaise, bowl, done.
Toilet.
Time equals gains. I'm still fat and out of shape. Eat more tuna.
Yeah. Just shotgunning tuna the way people drink beer. You have a tuna can pyramid down there in your basement.
What do you mean drain the water? You drink it. That's the good stuff.
Oh, God. Oh, what a horrible idea. I don't think that's worse than your melted shrimp water on your naked body.
Oh, shrimp water, keep on rolling. Yes, sit down, won't you keep on shining? Oh, shrimp water.
Oh, boy.
It's a lazy river with some room temp cocktail shrimp. That's a vacation. It's a city aqueduct service. It's not a lazy river.
It's a tight race between between that from last week and this these new tuna revelations coming.
There's a lot
away.
of shocking seafood revelations. I don't know what else I can bring. Oh, I have one already, Chambers.
Oh boy,
that's alarming how quickly that
not
came to me.
today, not today, Nathan.
Yeah. Oh, we're saving it for next week, baby.
Oh, thank God. Let's keep this fucking keep this pescatarian nightmare rolling. Next week, yes. So yes, please send Midwestern salad recipes to us on Twitter or via the email, and we can compile them. Maybe we can make a cookbook at the end of this. It also dawned on me that stuff you were talking about, I think I've always heard that as fluff. Like
that could be.
Green fluff was pistachio, and pink fluff was, I think, cherry or strawberry.
Yeah, that
salad.
sounds right.
It's essentially Cool Whip with some bullshit in it.
Yeah.
You can just eat Cool Whip. I don't know if you knew that.
But the bullshit makes it fancy.
Next week, we will watch, we'll wrap up season 5 next week. There's 2 episodes left, 21 and 22 from season 5. And then we'll watch also 1 through 3 of season 6. We'll get a crossover episode, which I always really like.
Mm-hmm.
Get to see how things change from season 5 to season 6.
As this show's blossoming, so are we as men.
Yes, we are doing some real man blooming on this on this program.
If there's ever a time there's a magazine called Man Bloom.
There's about to be. That's my new zine.
I can't tell if it's like a men's empowerment, like be your best self, or if it's gay porn.
It's that's actually the name of that real specific Scottish beefcake fetish.
Yep. On that note, I was talking to a good friend of mine last night. I jokingly brought up Honcho magazine. I was like, I wonder if that's real or if that's just a title people use and they have to think of a generic gay porn magazine.
I have never
did a Google image search, and I will let you know right now, Marlin Wells. Honcho is real. Honcho is in your face.
Is that your bumper sticker? Honcho is real.
Honcho ain't messing around. If you're ever a little curious on your sexuality, pop open a copy of Honcho. Judge your reaction, and that'll probably lead you down the path.
Take it for a test drive.
Yeah.
See what's
Honcho,
what.
There ain't no articles in Honcho. There's no editorials.
Now's the time to try new things. The world is on fire. None of this counts. It's like vacation calories. You just live your goddamn life right now.
You want to read it? Back issues of Honcho? This is the time.
Yep. Now's the time. Self-care. But yes, please send your recipes for Midwestern picnic salads to @BarleyBasketUSA on Twitter or barleybasketUSA@gmail.com. We will do 21 and 22 from season 5, as well as 1, 2, and 3 from season 6 next week on America's Barley Basket.
Goodbye, everybody.